Hey, um, I was at an event and there was other photographers there. I was there as a guest and I was just shooting um, candids, just fun stuff, as a kind of a, uncle kind of photographer. So I think it's only been the second wedding I've ever attended that I haven't been actually shooting professionally at it. But I had fun and I got some really cool shots. But I was using the Profoto Connect with the Profoto C1 Plus for the entire event. I loved it because it was pocketable. Is it perfect? No, but it actually did a great job, believe it or not. I shot at 3200. It was a very dark, everything was dark and, candle lit. It was kind of a Halloween themed wedding. But one of the photographers asked, if I used the Profoto gear, the speedlights, and I said yes, and they were just confused on why you would spend this much money on a speedlight, which is a legitimate question. They were using Godox, and I absolutely love Godox. I have some Godox. I've used them before. I just honestly, it doesn't fit with the rest of my system. My studio is filled with Profoto. So I chose the Profoto speedlights because I can bring them back to the studio and add them to my, studio gear, and everything works in sync and perfectly. And believe it or not, one of my biggest draws to Profoto was their Connect, because I have smaller cameras. I like smaller cameras, and I just love the size of this remote. It's absolutely phenomenal, and I use these for all my camera systems, whether it was Sony or Nikon. It's light, it's easy, it connects to your phone if you have to change your values. It's not like right on here, and a lot of photographers complained about that. But I don't mind it because I can just pull out my phone and change whatever I wanted to, which reminds me, like the phone and the Profoto A10s and B10s, they can flash with an iPhone, which is pretty impressive. Useless, not completely useless, I don't want to say that, but they are fun to play with. And if you want to do behind the scenes stuff with your iPhone, it's really cool because the strobes will flash with your iPhone camera. With the Profoto camera anyway. Anyway, there are some caveats. Number one, $1,000 for a speedlight is kind of ridiculous, and I'm not going to argue that. And believe me, you can buy 10 Godox lights for the price of this. Is this better than a Godox light? I wouldn't say better. I want to because I paid for them. So let me just say, yeah, these are so much better. I had to convince myself a bit. I love the battery system. I love what they can do with the TTL and so forth. They just work. The battery system is fantastic. I very, very rarely get a misfire on one of these. Not that Godox misfires with their remotes. I do have misfires with Godox. I have, not a lot, but there are misfires. But with this system, I very rarely ever get a misfire with this. I use these handheld. I hold the camera one hand, flash the other at an event. They work just great. But I can tell you that I would never buy one of these used. Quick story about Profoto and repair. So I had an A1 that I've had for a while, and believe it was like 2 years old. And the A1X is already out, but I wanted to get it repaired because I did pay $1,000 for it. So I sent it in to get repaired, and it was out of warranty, and it was a burnout light tube. Their price for the changing of the flash tube was $500, plus $25 shipping to get back to me. And I said, can't you do anything with that? Because, it's really expensive. That's half the price of the light. And they said, that's what our price is. And I'm like, okay, just send it back to me. I didn't get it repaired because literally it's disposable at that point. So buying a used one and it's, not having the warranty with it, even if you got it for $700 for the new A10 or $800, not that there are any used available because there's really very, very few used Profoto lights. And having it break and then paying $500 for a light tube is just outrageous. It makes this disposable. And the killer with this story, during the time when they sent it back to me and I went back on their website to say, I have to get another light, I saw refurbished A1s for $495. $495 for a refurbished, and it was $500 to change the flash tube. Just didn't make sense to me. Made me angry as hell. Anyway, but like I said, because it fits my entire ecosystem, I have money into this. That's why I stayed with Profoto. And I am very happy with it. The functionality of this light and the consistency and quality are just everything. They're fantastic. They work great. And for me, they work. For a casual photographer or somebody that doesn't do this full time and absolute full-time living, it's crazy. I would go with Godox in a second. And if I didn't have this entire ecosystem already, I would have gone with Godox in a second. I did love the V1s. I thought they were great little lights. But anyway, so I thought I'd get on here and justify to you and to other photographers and probably to myself, you know, why I spend $1,000 a speedlight. I hope it makes me feel better later. Anyway, but do I recommend them? Absolutely, 100%. Love these lights so much. Love everything about them. They work so well. You know, the mounting system is the same as Godox, of course, of the V1s, the round and the filters and so forth. But even the filters, I think they're $49 a piece. Who has that kind of money? Anyway, so yeah, it's a bit crazy, but they do work, and I do recommend them. They feel premium, they work premium, and they go with my ecosystem. I'm pretty much done. I almost feel better about spending this much money on lights. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and I just wanted to give you feedback on the Profoto A10s, A1Xs, whatever you want. Anyway, have a great day.